Hi, my name is and welcome to Music 101. Music 101 created to follow music style and legendary music industry. And as usual, my crime, Mr. Music Doctor.
Hello, Danielle. How you doing today?
I'm fabulous like you,
Fantastic.
Mr. And another episode of Music 101.
You bet. Looking forward to it.
Yes, I love to talk about the legendary Miss Aretha Franklin.
Oh,
And today, Miss Franklin,
we we talked about Aretha last week, but this is Ronnie and Phil Spector.
oh, another legendary icon
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
stage. Something else to talk about
Yeah.
their achievement for sure. So, what was the spectacle of Ronnie and Phil Spector?
Yeah, a little play on words there. The spectacle of Ronnie and Phil Spector. In early 1960s, as a talented biracial Ronnie and Phil Spector teamed up to produce the era's most memorable music. And this was in the early 1960s. And what they had done was they marketed and produced by husband Phil, and Ronnie's vocals are incredible lead vocals. And if you had talent, benefited from American capitalism and coupled with American exceptionalism, you could be a success. And what a phenomenal success Ronnie was. We all miss her iconic voice spanning 5 decades of hits. So, talk about some of the most important iconic voices and talent in the early to mid 60s. And there's a lot of unique things about the two of them.
Yes, I agree with you, Mr. Meg. And what factors contributed to Ronnie's phenomenal success during the 1960s?
Yes, there's really a great amount of things that you could say about them and the success, of course, that they experienced. But of course, what you want to talk about is that unique dynamic. So I want to mention a little bit about that, and we can talk about how the career grew. But it's this unique dynamic between the two of them, and that's led to their success. And that renowned producer Phil Spector's is the wall of sound, they called it. He was a master of production, and those innovative techniques helped to create a very distinctive sound that set Ronnie apart from other artists. And also, those marketing skills played a really significant role in producing Ronnie's music, making her a household name. Would you like to know some of the hit songs produced by Phil Spector in the 1960s, including Ronnie? Yes, there's a lot of them. He's a Rebel, The Crystals, 1962. He's a Runaway, Del Shannon, 64. The Do Run Run, When He Walked Me Home, The Crystals, 63. Then He Kissed Me, The Crystals, 63. Walking in the Rain, The Ronettes, 64. Do I Love You, The Ronettes, 64. Be My Baby, The Ronettes, 63. Do you get an idea that this was really important, team? Baby, I Love You, The Ronettes, 63. The Best Part of Breaking Up, The Ronettes, 64. A Fine, Fine Boy, The Ronettes, 64. One hit after another. Then, of course, the classic River Deep Mountain High by the incredible, also team, Ike and Tina Turner, 1966. Then a whole bunch of hits, The Righteous Brothers, You Lost That Love and Feeling, Just Once in My Life, Unchained Melody, Ebb Tide, Hung on You, You've Changed. Is it unbelievable the amount of songs that were produced during that really key period of time? There's a lot. So,
Unbelievable. Because of that, our generations will continue your music. So, what makes Ronnie's music so enduring, and how has she influenced other artists?
yeah, I think when you talk about this influence and when it's two of them and what had happened from the result of all of this great enduring music, if you listen to the songs like Walking in the Rain, in fact, peaked at number 6 on the Billboard chart in 1964. The Ronettes' You Baby also peaked 43, the Billboard Hot Chart 164. But it stood the test of time because of this timeless quality with a very distinctive voice and style, continuing to captivate audiences. And her influence can be seen in many artists who are followed in her footsteps, from like punk rockers like the Ramones to rock legends like Bruce Springsteen, Ronnie's music has also been featured in numerous films, TV shows, and commercials, which ensures her legacy continues to grow. In fact, Joey Ramone and Ronnie Spector recorded Bye Bye Baby themselves, and also Bruce Springsteen recorded, not record, but live, Baby I Love You. Nothing in the studio, but Bruce Springsteen and Ronnie Spector, 4/11/76, the Palladium, New York City, recorded live one of her songs. So some of the enduring popularity is her ability to transcend genres and generations, and her music has been covered by artists across a very wide range of styles, from rock to pop to punk and new wave. And it's also been featured in films and TV shows. Classic films like The Girl Can't Help It to modern shows like Glee and Nashville. Ronnie Spector and the Ronettes were featured in the 1956 film The Girl Can't Help It, and that's Jane Mansfield, Tom Ewell. The Ronettes' song Be My Baby was on the TV show Glee in 2010. The Ronettes' Be My Baby was featured on the TV show Nashville in 2013, and got punk rockers from the Ramones to new wave artist Blondie, who I did see at the Huntington Beach in 1977, I believe. Great performance. There was saw her as a major influence. So when she's been covered by Bruce Springsteen, the Beach Boys, the Bangles, Blondie, all kinds of people, and then the fashion too had an influence on Vivienne Westwood to rock stars like David Bowie and Freddie Mercury. So on two levels, both the music and the style and the fashion. So Blondie recorded the cover of the Ronettes song "Baby I Love You" in 1976. Bruce Springsteen recorded live "Be My Baby" and "Baby I Love You." The Beach Boys covered "Then He Kissed Me." The Mangles' "Be My Baby" were also covered. So you see a lot of people have said that this is an artist that has spans all kinds of styles, all kinds of generations, from classic rockers to punk rockers to new wave artists. She's got a huge influence on all kinds of people.
Yes, yes, yes. Again, thank you so much. I love Glee watching before. I hope they will continue the season. Glee people, please do continue the season of Glee. So, what can we learn from Ronnie Spector's story, and how can we apply those lessons to our own creative pursuits?
Yeah, I think if you look at what she's been able to accomplish, there's a number of things, and I think, and hopefully, that people are inspired by it as well too. Because if you see the kinds of things that she did struggle with, and also overcame herself, so her legacy is a testament to the power of talent, which is hard rock and innovation. And if you have all those things, talent, dedication, and also you need the right guidance, you can achieve great things. So I think her legacy reminds us of the importance of innovation, taking risks in creative pursuits. And by embracing these lessons, we can create our own unique style and sound, just like Ronnie did. So it's a testament to the power of talent, hard work, innovation. And her music has certainly stood the test of time. And that's why her influence can be seen on countless artists who have followed in her footsteps. One of the most important lessons you can learn from Ronnie Spector's story is the importance of staying true to oneself. Throughout her career, she remained committed to her own unique style and fashion, even when it was not always popular. But that commitment to her artistic vision allowed her to create music that was both authentic and meaningful. And I hope that's a lesson that we can all apply to our own creative pursuits. So, whether you're an artist, a writer, musician, staying true to ourselves and our vision is essential to creating work that is both meaningful and impactful. So, I think you can also say, the importance of collaboration and partnership. So, Ronnie's success was not due solely to her own talent, but the partnerships that she formed with other artists and producers, such as her husband, Phil Spector. And that's particularly relevant in today's music industry. Collaboration, co creation is increasingly important. So, the better you get along with people and forming partnerships, most likely going to help your own success. And so that expertise can be shared, truly innovative and impactful. And I think you can also say the importance of perseverance and resilience. So she did have her own numerous challenges and setbacks, from the decline of the rock and roll genre to her own personal struggles and health issues. However, she never gave up on her music, continued to create and perform till the very end of her life. And that persistence and resilience is essential qualities for any creative person. I think that's a testament to her enduring legacy. I think you have to adapt and evolve as an artist. And she took on different styles and sounds, from rock and roll to pop to punk. And I think in the fast paced world that we're in, got to be able to adjust and stay very agile and nimble and keep moving around with the times and stay up with the times. So some thoughts on the incredible Ronnie Spector.
Incredible, incredible. So, speaking of incredible, I'm inviting you to please do purchase one of my incredible Food 101 merchandise. People, name it, and we have it. As we are saying, we have accessory pouch, apron, of course, bento lunchbox, and a lot more. Food 101 merchandise available on Etsy and Shopify. This is the product of our Food 101 podcast, people. It's our on fourth season already with Chef Alessandro, one of the specialty chef in one of five-star hotel in downtown Toronto. And please do listen to our latest episode. We talk about regional Sicilian dishes like arancini. People, arancini. Do you like arancini, Mr. Mike?
Not sounding good. I haven't had breakfast yet, so I'm ready.
Yes, arancini. So, people, please do listen. Food 101 on our fourth season. So, what was the unique but sometimes troublesome dynamic between Ronnie and Phil Spector?
Yeah, that's a good question because of the importance of collaboration, but sometimes they had their own problems, which I think all couples do and all marriages do. But that dynamic was complex and sometimes tumultuous. So Phil Spector is known as a very controlling and demanding producer. So he got excellence, but of course it's at a price. And Ronnie herself spoken publicly about that emotional and psychological kind of trauma that she suffered at his hands. Despite that, they two created some of the most iconic music in the 1960s, and Ronnie's unique voice and style were a key part of their success. Phil Spector's wall of sound production technique, which featured those layered harmonies and a dense, reverberant sound, perfectly suited to Ronnie's voice, and the two worked together to create a distinctive sound that was both nostalgic and modern. So, despite their professional partnership, sometimes a personal relationship was a key factor in their success. They were married from 1958 to 1974. Relationship was marked by a deep emotional connection and mutual respect. As long as that bond allowed them to work seamlessly together, they were able to tap into their creative energies and bring out the best in each other. Even after the divorce, they remain close friends, continue to work together on music projects, and that's a part of their enduring power of their creative partnership. So, talked about their rise to fame earlier, and that's some things that could be mentioned as well and how they did that.
Very well said, Mr. Mick. So, if you compare Ronnie to other like 1960 band, where can you compare them?
Yeah, I think they have to be considered one of the best of what they so-called the girl groups because there were a number of them at that time. So they are probably the most well-known and probably the most famous of that time. So there's some iconic hits, and their legacy during that period of time is particularly important. So songs like Be My Baby, which was number two, Baby I Love You at number eight, were very important. But also, when you hear songs like Walking in the Rain, very clever use of
Mhm.
some rain effects, studio tricks in the sound. And You Baby continued to delight audiences long after the 1960s, and she influenced a lot of artists as a result. You Baby came at number 43 on the Billboard charts. It has that timeless quality, and a lot of those early hits are probably the most important of the so-called girl groups of that period of time from the probably about 1963 or so.
Yes, for sure. And I hope our generation will continue their music. So, for this, our generations, Mr. Mick, to whom you can compare nowadays?
Well, I think you could see an influence on some of the later bands. The newer ones, you know me, I don't know all those things, but Blondie, the Bangles, any of the girl groups, they certainly wanted to imitate Ronnie because she was the single most important of those groups with the very sweet vocals and also the kinds of fashion that she was able to demonstrate as well. So, very unique style. If folks can see the pictures that you have, a picture here on the podcast, very interesting bouffant style of hair, very distinctive clothes, kind of uniform looking. And that's what people are trying to say to try to be in that image and that artistry that she had. She kind of was the trailblazer in a lot of ways, in a lot of respects.
for sure. And another will done in the 1960s that make them so popular.
Yeah, I think it's that unique sound. So whenever you hear a Phil Spector song, it's pretty much distinctive because of that very unusual wall of sound that's reverberant, and it's also used as the highlight of the songs that are well written, well crafted, and also I think probably the ability to use different instruments. And that's what's so interesting about his creative ideas with the wall of sound, all kinds of unusual sounds, unusual instruments, anything to get the point across. I think was really important. And the style that Wade came, it all worked together, both the fashion and the style. And at that time, it also had some great songwriters. That distinctive look, the signature bouffant hairdo, cat eye makeup was a defining feature of that era's fashion. And it's that kind of confident stage presence that made Ronnie a rock and roll icon, of most recognizable beloved figures in the 1960s. Also had some top songwriters, not only Phil Spector himself, but Ellie Greenwich, Jeff Barry. So that level of quality and craftsmanship was unmatched. I think that's why people want to imitate her, because both she stood out both in terms of fashion and music and that unique vocal that she had, along with that classic wall of sound kind of production from Phil Spector.
Yes, speaking of rock and roll, Mr. Mick, can you please invite our listeners to buy one of your rock and roll Ian Hunter?
Yes, I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Daniel. Yes. So if you want to get some of the books on Amazon that have Burning America in the Best Interests of the Children, and also On Track, Ian Hunter. And of course, I keep mentioning another project on Chipmunk that is coming, the voice of Woodstock. But also, if you want to see me on Facebook, the Idea to Author Coach, I help business leaders, CEOs, entrepreneurs break through their obscurity through written presentations, building credibility and authority. And Daniel knows how to publish because he's prolific. And that's what we want everybody to do. What are your ideas? Let's get them out there, folks. And also listen to me, of course, on the Doctor of Digital podcast. So thanks, Daniel.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Mick because if you support him, more books, more books to come. And what is your latest project, Mr. Mick?
Yeah, that's the Chipmunk project, though, going through some of the notes, looking for agents and publishers. So here's an incredible person that was the lighting director par excellence. And the only way I can describe him shortly is to say, who didn't this guy work with? So from about the late 50s at the Newport Folk Festival, the Newport Jazz Festival, through Bob Dylan, through all the rock festivals, the famous one, Woodstock, Altamont, Miami, and then everything else after that. Peter Gabriel, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Bette Midler. It's easier to say who didn't Chipmunk work with than to say and list all the people he did work with. He even did Elvis Presley, Aloha in Hawaii. It's unbelievable how many people and great stars that he'd worked with. So that's the latest project.
Yes, and I think you're including Miss Aretha Franklin next, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just can't say like one after the other, right? So you prod me along, Daniel. That's what you do.
Yes. And stop procrastinating, people. If you have the talent of writing or whatever talent that you have, share to the world so that people can see it, see people can hear it, just like Ronnie. See, it's amazing, a legendary icon in the 1960s. And until now, well, we are still empowering them. So, Mr. Mick, what else you can say about the Ronnie Spector?
I think it's really important to point out just to stay true to your vision and stay true to who and what you are. If you're persistent, if you are successful and you can collaborate with people, and if you got talent, yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do. So it's the enduring power of music, a lesson that we can apply to our own creative pursuits. So meaningful, impactful, touch people with music because it's unbelievable what it can do and the positivity that it can bring you up. You hear some of those early songs from the Ronettes and you just can't help but smile. And if you're not just smiling, you're going to start dancing. So listen to some of that music. It's great. Love to know what people think of their favorite Ronette song.
For sure. And again, Music make you dance. Music make your mood upbeat. So thank you so much. So Mr. Mick, thank you for your time.
Well, thank you, Daniel. It's always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
Well, that's all. See you soon.